Hi guys, my name is Terry. In this video, I'm going to go through the SPM trial paper for Melaka paper, and this is paper 1. Okay, let's begin with question number 1, part A. So this is from the chapter vector from 4 chapter 8. So given that A and B are non-parallel vectors, non-zero vectors and not parallel, such that h minus 3a equals to k plus 2b, where h and k are constant, so we're supposed to find the value of h and k. So very simple, when two vectors are not parallel, the coefficient h minus 3, let me just write this down, and k plus 2, these two coefficients must be 0. If they are parallel, vector A can be a multiple of vector B. Multiple, in this case, we put lambda, you can put h, you can put k, doesn't matter. So there is a value. But if they're not parallel, the value must be 0. Since they're not parallel, h minus 3 must be 0. Your k plus 2 must be 0. As we bring over, your h is just 3. And your k is -2. All right, so that is part A, fairly simple. Okay, second one involving vectors in Cartesian plane, where you're given vector A and vector B, and you're supposed to find the value of k if B minus A has a magnitude of 17 unit. So let's find out what is B minus A. Your B is 17i plus 5j. You minus your A, which is 2i plus kj. So we multiply the negative inside. Okay, maybe I do slowly. 17i plus 5j minus 2i minus kj. 17 minus 2 is 15i. And your 5 minus k we put together, we write the j outside. Now, if your magnitude is 17, we can use a simple Pythagoras theorem. Remember, if vector r is xi plus yj, the magnitude of vector r is x squared plus y squared with a square root over. So we're going to take 15 squared plus 5 minus k squared with a square root over. The result must be 17. Now, actually, you don't have to do a lot of work because we know 17, 15, and 8, and we know the ratio. But if you don't know, it's okay. Just use your calculator. Take your 17, you square it first. All right, that is 289. And 15 squared is 225. Okay, let me just show you here, 225. So 225 plus 5 minus k squared is 289. Don't have to expand the bracket for 5 minus k. Leave the bracket. 289 minus 225, that would be 64. When we square root 64, always remember there's a plus minus, there's a negative and a positive. So to find the value of k, just bring k to the right, -8 to the left, 5 plus 8, that would be 13. Bring this to the right, bring this to the left, k is -3. So there are two answers. K is either 13 or -3. Okay, moving on to question number 2. This is from the chapter Coordinate Geometry, Form 4, Chapter 7. So it is given, a diagram shows the location of 4 houses in a village drawn on Cartesian plane. So you're supposed to write the equation in the form of x over a plus y will be equals to 1 and state the coordinate of house B. Okay, you're given the equation of the straight line P to R. This equation here, this straight line here is 6x minus 3y equals 18, right? It is given here. So we just change it to what we call intercept form. Okay, starting from here, 6x, let me write here, 6x minus 3y equals 18. We divide everything by 18. Why do I divide 18? Because I want to get a 1. I want to get a 1 over here, right? So when you divide by 18, 6 and 18 cancel, left with 3. This one, 3 divide 18. 18 divided 3 is 6. There's a negative here. So I'm going to add positive here, keep the negative below for 6. Then 18 divided 18 is just 1. Why do I do that? Because we need to show that this is your A, x intercept. This is your B, y intercept, right? You're supposed to write in this form, and that's it. Only 1 mark. Yeah, that's the answer. Now, second, we need to find the coordinate point P. P is your x-intercept. In this case, your P is just 3, 0. Yeah. At x-axis, your y is 0. So if your x-intercept 3, you just put a comma, add in y with 0. Okay, let's move on. Next one. House Q is located between P and R such that 5PQ equals QR. 5PQ equals QR. Okay. 5PQ equals QR. So we can use ratio. Actually, in this case, I think the question, how would I say, they should not give us 4M. Why? Because if they give us M, right, we can just sub inside this equation of straight line. You can find M straight away. When you're given equation of straight line, you sub in the coordinate x with 4, you can find your y. Your y is M. You can get it straight away. You don't even have to use this ratio thing. But anyhow, so let's say I just use the equation, the information given. 5PQ is QR. So a lot of people tend to get confused between the ratio. So I'm going to show you like this. PQ divided by QR is 1 divided by 5. Because this is in the form of equation. We change to what we call proportion. Just bring the QR down below PQ, bring the 5 down below your 1, right? This is proportion. Therefore, PQ QR is 1:5. That means this PQ here is 1, QR is 5. You know coordinate point P already. P is 3, 0. So we're going to use the ratio formula. Let me write down the formula. It's nx1 plus mx2 over m plus. Now this formula is given in exam. ny1 my2 over m plus n. But for me, the most important thing is understand that the ratio and coordinate must be opposite. So for example, if I use this as m, this is n, right? The n you must multiply with the opposite coordinate. The m you must multiply with the opposite coordinate. So if you're finding the value of m, right? Look at the question again. You're finding m, right? So m is your y coordinate. So don't bother about the x coordinate. Your y is m. You take your n first. N is 5. You multiply with the opposite coordinate 0. Your another one, m is 1. Opposite coordinate is 12. You take 1 multiply 12. You can see 12 is a y coordinate point R divided by total ratio 1 plus 5. So that would be 6. So your 12 divided by 6, m is 2. Okay. By the way, as I said, this is proportion, this is ratio. So I like to write like this so that you understand, students understand. Yeah, we are changing from equation to proportion to ratio. Okay, like I said, there's another way. I don't need to do this actually because this is 6x minus 3y. I just write here method 2 for your reference equals to 18. You sub in Q for m. That means your x is 4, your y is m. This is 24. 24, you can bring over 18 minus 24, negative 6. M is 2. It's even easier. Don't even have to use the ratio formula. All right. That is part B. Now let's move on to part C. A lane that will be built to connect point house P and house S. Yeah, P and S such that it is perpendicular. The lane is perpendicular to route that connects PQR. Find the gradient of the lane. Okay, very easy. This is perpendicular. You just want to find the gradient of this lane PS. Very simple. You already know the equation of this line. Just change it to y equals mx plus c to find the gradient. Okay, so guys, I'm just going to bring this over. This one I bring over to the right, bring over to the left straight away. Your 3y is now 6x minus 18. Your y is 6 divided by 3, which is 2. 18 divided by 3 is 6. The gradient of PR is 2. Now, PR and PS, they're perpendicular. So we say PR times PS equals to -1. Your gradient PS is -1/2. Okay, simple. Okay, moving on to question number 3. This is from Form 4, Chapter 1, Function. So a function f is defined by this fx equals x squared minus 3 for x between 0 to 3. So you're supposed to draw the graph f on the diagram given below, the axis given below, and then draw your f inverse on the same plane and state the domain. Okay, let me write down the function. Your function is fx equals to x squared minus 3. Okay, so I'm going to show the graph here. So to draw this graph, right? Okay, let me zoom in a bit small to see. We're going to sub in 0 first. If you put 0, 0 squared is still 0, minus 3, negative 3. So 0 minus 3 is over here. Then we're going to sub in 3 because we're supposed to draw up to 3. So 3 squared is 9. 9 minus 3. 9 minus 3 is 6. So 3, 6 is over here. So we're going to sketch this curve. It's a quadratic curve. So a bit hard to sketch. You draw upwards like this. Okay, a bit ugly. Yeah. Okay, something like that. Okay, now next we're going to draw the line of reflection because this is the graph of y equals fx. The moment you reflect in the line y equals x, you get your f inverse. So for your line of reflection, I'm going to use a different color, easier to see. Normally we use a dotted line. Y equals to x looks like this. Yeah, y equals to x. Now then I'm going to draw the inverse, yeah, which is a reflection along this line. So notice a negative 3 when you inverse 0, this is 0 minus 3. When you inverse it becomes, or when you reflect it, it becomes minus 3, 0. It sits on the other side, the other end. And this is 3, 6 over here. When you reflect over, it becomes 6, 3. So we're going to draw a reflection. Okay, just draw like that. Okay, now notice that it must intersect at this point. Yeah, all three must meet at the same point here. Okay, my graph is okay lah. Can be better. So this is y equals to f inverse x, and we are done. Right? So the first graph is okay, not difficult. Right. We still need to state the domain of f inverse. Now, if you look at your f inverse, right, your x value starts from -3, ends at 6. So domain is your possible x value. Range is your possible y value. So when you inverse a function, the range of fx becomes domain of f inverse. But you don't have to find the range of fx. We can see quite clearly, right, from our diagram, we already have the graph drawn. So we can just say the domain of f inverse will be between -3 to 6, right? Okay, so that is part A. Now, moving on to part B. Part B, I'm going to write on the side here. I'm going to zoom out a bit around this side. So we are finding the value of m, given that your fx is 1/2 minus x, and f of m minus 1 is half of f inverse. Okay, so now most people would inverse the function. So okay, in this case, I'll just inverse the function. Actually, it can be done without inversing a function. Anyway, let us find out what is f inverse. Okay, the standard way we let f inverse x becomes y. Now I want to say this because your textbook use fx equals to y. I'm using f inverse x equals y. This is the old textbook. This is a new textbook, right? They both work. Yeah, they both are fine. So, but if you're more familiar with the new textbook, the current textbook using this, go ahead. Okay, so we let f inverse x becomes y. Fy is now x. Your 1/2 minus y is x. We are supposed to make y as a subject. And I hope you know how to interchange this. So those who are not sure, when you start with x, when you go inverse, we switch x and y. Yeah. So we move forward, your y map onto x. Yeah. When you go backwards, your x map onto y. You go forward, your y map onto x. That's why we can switch this. Now, next, we are supposed to make y as a subject. So you can perhaps multiply over 1 equals to 2x minus xy. Xy is now 2x minus 1. Make y as a subject because you're finding y, which is your f inverse. Therefore, my f inverse is 2x minus 1 over x. Now, you can also write the other way, right? Like some people, they write 2 minus 1 over x, which is also okay. The reason why I write in this form is because I know I later have to simplify and solve this. Is better, and to cross multiply is better to write in a single fraction. Now, what is fm minus 1? I'm going to sub inside here now. F is this function. I'm going to sub 2 minus m minus 1 inside. Then the result is half of f inverse m. Now I'm going to replace your x here. This is f inverse m. Initially is x. We replace with m. So it's 2m minus 1 over m. Okay, let us simplify this. The 2 and m, you can cross multiply. Okay, maybe I do one extra step for you first. So 2 minus 1, this is 3. 3 minus m. This is 2m minus 1 over 2m. Now from here, we're going to cross multiply. 2m is now 2m minus 1 times 3 minus m. Expand the bracket, 6m minus 2m squared minus 3 plus m. Just expand one by one. Bring everything to the left-hand side, right? This is 5m. If I bring over with 6, I hope nothing is wrong. 7. This is 7. Okay, you can use one more step. This is 7 here on the left. 7m, bring over. 2 minus 7 becomes negative 5. 3 is negative. Bring to the left becomes positive. Double bracket, factorize them. So let's take 2 times 6. 2 times 3, 6. What's the factor of 6? 6 and 1, 3 and 2. In order to get 5, you can either use 6 and 1, 3 and 2. But however, you notice this is positive, so we should take 3 plus 2. Yeah, because if you take 6 minus 1, you're going to get negative. For the back term here, you need it to be positive. So I'm going to use 3 and 2 to get 3. This is 2. This one must be 3. So to get 2, I put 1. To get 3, I must put 3 here. Both are negative. My m is therefore 3 over 2 and 1. Yeah, there you go. 2 answers for m. Okay, moving on to question number 4. This is from Form 4, Chapter 2, Quadratic Function. So here we have a quadratic equation, x squared minus 8x plus 7 with the roots of h and k, where h is greater than k. Find the value of h and k. So let's begin. Let's double bracket factorize. Factor of 7. 7, I should use what? 1 and 8. 1 and 7 to get 8. Minus 1 minus 7 gives us minus 8 here. Oh, you can factorize quickly by now. The x is now 1 and 7. So it is given that h is more than k. So since h is greater than k, your h should be 7. Your k should be 1. All right, 2 answers. Next, form quadratic equation with the roots of h plus 3 and 2k minus 1. So the roots now is h plus 3. My h is 7. 7 plus 3. And 2k, my k is 1. 2 times 1 minus 1. That will give us 10 and 1. So with the new root, we can find our SOR, sum of roots. Yeah, sum of root means we take 10 and 1, add together, you get 11. And POR is product of root. 10 times 1, you get 10. So to form your equation, we use a formula x squared minus SOR x plus BOR equal 0. That's all. That's your answer. Okay, question number 5. This is from Form 4, Chapter 4, Indices and Logarithm. So let's begin. So the first part, they say convert this log base 6254 to natural logarithm and evaluate. So here we're going to use the formula for changing base. In case you don't remember, this is log base AB. You can introduce a new logarithm with a new base. The base can be C and C. B stays on top, A stays down. This formula is given in exam. So the question asks to change to natural logarithm. Natural logarithm is ln, or we write log base e. So normally we just use the short form ln. So you put a ln 254 on top, divide by ln 6. Yeah, your base is e. Here we got to use a calculator because the question say convert it to natural logarithm and evaluate. So to evaluate, you use ln here. You can see below your x here, ln 254. You divide by ln 6. And my answer is 3.090. 3.090. I give your answer correct to 4 significant figure. All right, that's first part. Second part, given that log base n2 is p, log base n3 is q, express log base 3 16 n square in terms of p and q. So starting from here, log base 3 16 n square. I'm going to change the base to base n because the two information given here, they're all in base n. So I'm going to write log base n, log base n. 16 n square stays on top, 3 stays down. Yeah, we're using the same formula as part A, right? The formula for changing base. Now, then we're going to use the laws of logarithm. The first law, the multiplication, is that when you have 16 times n square, you can break it up to log base n 16, log base n square. Denominator, we leave it as log base n 3. Now, from here, as we know, 16 is 2 power 4 because we're going to use this information. This is 2. So the 2 power 4. But I'm going to bring the power 4 in front. Then you have log base n square. So I'm going to write n and the power 2, I'm going to bring in front, divide by log base n 3. Okay. Now your log base n 2 is p. So this is 2p. Log base n is 1. Yeah, remember log AA is 1. Doesn't matter whatever value of A. Then log base n 3 is q given here. So there you go. 4p plus 2 over q. Okay, moving on to question number 6. This is from Form 4, Chapter 6, Linear Law. So diagram 3 shows a curve. The variable x and y are connected by the linear equation y squared equals to mx plus n. This is a non-linear function. Okay, you're supposed to find value m and n. Now you notice that this graph passes through these 2 points. So when a curve or a graph passes through a point, we can substitute both coordinate inside. So let's start by substituting 5 and n inside. So your y is now n, you got to square it. Your 5 and 2, I wrote wrongly, 5 and 2. Your y is now 2, you got to square it. Your x is now 5. The last term is n, so put together, you get 5m, the m is capital M. Let me write nicely, plus n equals to 4. That is your first equation. Then you sub in the second coordinate, 11, 4. Your y is 4. Your x is 11. So you get 11m plus n equals to 4 square, which is 16. Equation number 2. From here, we just solve them simultaneously. I take equation 2 minus equation 1. 11m minus 5n is 6m. n minus n becomes 0. 16 minus 4, you get 12. M is 2. Then you sub inside equation 1. Find your n, right? Your m is 2. Your n here, n is 4 minus 10. 4 minus 10, n is negative 6. So guys, you got your m and n already. Now, with that, we're going to sketch the graph of y squared versus against x. So now that you know mn, right? Now, this is part A. I'm going to part B over here. We're going to rewrite this. Your y squared is now m, which is 2, x plus n. N is negative 6. So to convert this to linear form, treat your y squared as your big Y. This is your gradient. This is your big X. This is C. So it's very simple. We just have to draw a straight line graph. with a gradient of 2, positive gradient. Now, you can't really exactly show 2, but you can show that it's a positive gradient, right? The gradient is slightly steeper than 1. So we draw a line like this, and it must cut the y-axis at -6 because your 6 is your y-intercept. This is 0, this is your y square, this is your x. Okay, what you can do to add on, but actually I think it's not necessary to show this, but if you want to show the x-intercept, we can find at x-axis y0. But this y is your y square. You let your y square be 0. You can write this as 0 equals to 2x minus 6, 2x equals to 6, x equals to 3. So your x-intercept is 3. Yeah. So the linear graph that you're getting here is of y squared versus x, a straight line graph that cuts the x-intercept at 3, y-intercept at -6. Okay, moving on to question number 7. And this is from 4, chapter 3, system equation. So here, Alia sells chocolate bouquet during semester break to cover for her study fee amounting to 1,400. So the price of chocolate bouquet depends on the size of the bouquet. So the price of the small one is 50, medium is 80, the large is 100. The cost of producing the bouquet is 30. Let me just use a different color. 30, 50, and large one 65. She spent 2,400. This 2,400 is the cost, right? To make for making the chocolate bouquet. So the request for small one, okay, this one small one is 2 times the medium one. So we're supposed to write down 3 equations, right? And then solve them simultaneously so that we can find the minimum number of chocolate bouquet for each size that she has to sell, right? So, okay, number 1, let's start with the cost, okay? So the cost function. Your cost of producing small one is 30. Here the x. Okay. Maybe I write here. We let small bouquet be x. Okay. Medium becomes y and large is z. So you're gonna form 3 equations in terms of x, y, and z. So the first one is your cost. We say that the small one is 30, so it's 30 times x. 1 is x. Second one, medium is 50, 50 times y. Large one is 65, 65 times z. The total cost is 2,400. Yeah, she spent 2,400. So I think we can simplify this equation by dividing everything by 5. So let us divide by 5. 30 divided by 5, you get 6. 50 divided by 5, you get 10. 65 divided by 5, you get 13. 2,400 divided by 5 is 480. Equation number 1. Now, the second one is your profit. Why we have to use profit? Because she wants to earn 1,400, right? So your selling price, remember, profit is your selling price subtract with your cost, right? Your selling price for each bouquet, the small one is 50 ringgit. You minus your cost, 30 ringgit. You multiply by x. X is number of small bouquet that you sell. Okay. Then for medium size is 80. You minus 50. For large is 100. You minus 65. The total is profit of 1,400. Okay, your 50 minus 30, that will give us 20x. This is 30y. This is 35. The result is 1,400. Now, similarly, we can divide everybody by 5. So you get 4x plus 6y plus 7z. The result is 280, right? That call this equation number 2. Now you have a third equation. Third equation is the request for small bouquet. Small bouquet is x, is now 2 times the medium. Medium is y. So that's equation number 3. So here I'm going to use substitution of y because you're given the third equation x in terms of y. So it's quite easy we do use substitution. So we sub equation 3 inside equation 1. We have to sub inside equation 1 as well as equation number 2. So my x is now 2y. There's a 10y plus 13z equals 480. 6 times 2 is 12. 12 plus 10 is 22 plus 13z. The result is 480. Call this equation number 4. We can also sub equation 3 inside equation number 2. Your x is 2y plus 6y plus 7z. Answer 280. So 8 plus 6 is 14. And this is 7z. The result is 280. Now we can simplify this further by dividing everybody by 7. 2y plus z. 280 divided 7 is 40. Make z as a subject. 40 minus 2y. Call this equation number 5. Now we're going to take equation 5 and we're going to sub. Because you have z in terms of y, right? We need another equation here, right? These two equations. This is y in terms of z. I mean y and z. This is z in terms of y. So we sub 5 equation 5 inside equation 4. So you have 22y plus 13. This is 40 minus 2y equals 480. Let us simplify this. 22y plus 13 times 4 is 520. 13 times 2 is 26 equals 480. 22 minus 26 negative 4y. 480 minus 520 is negative 40. My y is just 10. So with that, we just have to sub inside equation number 5 to find z and equation number 3 to find x. Okay, I find z first. Z would be 40 minus 2 times 10. My z is 20. I sub inside equation number 3. My x will be 2 times 10. Answer is 20. So the minimum number of bouquet for small should be 20. Medium should be 10. Large should be 20. Okay, let's continue with question number 8. So here diagram shows part of the curve y equals 2 over 5x with the 8 minus x cubed. So find the coordinate of the two stationary points. So it's quite clear, they already given us. So actually you can find n directly here because it lies on the x-axis. By the way, we're going to use differentiation to do this. First part, we differentiate. Remember, stationary point happens when the gradient is 0. First, we differentiate. Here we are to use product rule. Now remember, product rule works like this. If your y is uv, dy dx will be copy u, differentiate v, differentiate u, copy v. You can do the other way around. You can also write uv prime plus v prime u. Okay, so I use vu prime. I use copy, differentiate, differentiate, copy. So copy your u. Your u is 2 over 5x. Differentiate your v. Differentiate is bring the power 3 down. This is your v. This is your v. This is your u. I hope you can see that. It's a composite function. Bring the power down. Copy the bracket. Reduce the power by 1. Differentiate inside the bracket. Then you add, copy your u, 2 over 5. Differentiate your u. Differentiate 2 over 5x, you get 2 over 5. Copy your v, 8 minus x power 3. Now here we have two common factor. The first common factor is your 205. Actually 205 in the first place, we just leave it outside. It doesn't matter, right? So we can take out 2 over 5. The second thing I can take out is my bracket. Remember for bracket that between power 2 and power 3, we always take out the smaller power. Smaller power is power 2. So here we are left with 3x with a negative 1. You can write minus 3x, okay? Maybe I just write minus 3x, minus 3x. Then for the second one, I've taken out 205. I've taken out 8 minus x power 2. Power 3, if you've taken out power 2, you're left with power 1. Okay, so let's simplify further. 2 over 5 with the 8 minus x squared. And this is 8 minus 4x. Now at the turning point, right? The gradient dy dx is 0. So imagine if this is 0, the 205 you bring over is still 0. It doesn't matter. So what matters is this: your 8 minus x must be 0, and your 8 minus 4x must be 0. So your x is either 8, 4x equals to 8, x equals to 2. Yeah, you have two turning point. So I can tell you that your turning point for n is 8, 0. No need to count because we know it sits on the y-axis. So your n should be 8, 0. But for m, right, we're going to sub inside your y. Your y is 2 over 5 times 2, 8 minus 2 power 3. So this 2 over 5 times 2 is going to be 4 over 5. You multiply with 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 cubed is 216. You can use a calculator. I got 864 over 5. Yeah, 864 over 5. So your m is 2864 over 5. You can leave it as fraction or mixed number. Okay, mixed number or improper fraction. Okay, now let's move on to the second part. Hence, determine the nature of stationary point and by using the tangent sketching method. Okay, well, they only ask you to find n, I don't find m, right? So tangent sketching works like this. This is part A, this is part B. Okay, so we write down the value of x. Your x value for n is 8, right? For n, we take the value slightly less than 8. Take a value slightly more than 8. Okay, draw a line here. So this is your x value. Okay, let me write nicely. X more than 8. Let me look at the value of your dy dx. Now, we can type this in your calculator. Okay, your dy dx is this. Okay, or maybe I highlight for you. This is your dy dx. Okay, over here. So I'm going to type this function in my calculator. 2 over 5. All right, open bracket. 8 minus x. Use the function x here. Square it. Then open bracket. 8 minus 4x. Okay, I'm going to calculate. Pick a value less than 8, maybe 7. Yeah, you get negative, right? So this is less than 0. So it's not important to write the exact value. What matters is the sign, more than 0 or less than 0. Now, at 8 itself is going to be 0. You're not going to get any other value. It's definitely 0, right? Because when we let dy dx to 0, we got the x value equals 8. So this is the other way around. We put x equals 8. Your dy dx has to be 0. Take a value more than 8, maybe 9. You will get negative 56 over 5. Now, main thing is show that it's negative, less than 0. Then we do a sketch of your dy dx. So when you sketch a dy dx, you follow this sign. Dy dx is your tangent, gradient tangent. When your gradient tangent is negative, the graph, the tangent or the line is like this, going down. When it's 0, it's horizontal. When it's negative again, it's going down. Okay. Now, we need to sketch your y. Your y is the graph. Now, the graph is going down, horizontal, and down. Similar here, right? Actually, the graph already showed you. We should get the same thing, right? You see, it's here. You can see from the diagram. Yeah, it's going down, horizontal, down again. So state the type of stationary point. The type of stationary point is called the point of inflection. Yeah, point of inflection. That's all. Okay. Okay, Shami did a survey on percentage of people in her school who use school buses to come to school. It is found that 42% of people from her school use school buses. So a sample of 3 people is chosen at random from the school. This discrete random variable x represent is a binomially distributed as or represented as this. Stated by the P. Okay, very simple. P is your probability of success. And when they say 42% use school bus, then your P is just 0.42. Yeah, just write that. Yeah, state means just give the answer. Okay, next we are supposed to complete the table, right? Complete the binomial distribution table for the number of people who use school bus. Okay, remember your n is 3. Yeah? Your number of student is 3. Okay, and your probability of success is 0.42. So I'm going to calculate 2 and 3. 0 and 1 already given. I just have to find 2 and 3. So the formula works like this. Bx equals x is ncx, b power x, q power n minus x. You can write r. R and x is the same. Okay, maybe I write r because mostly they use r. Okay, so let me write here. Okay, now for the first one, your x is 2. So your n is 3. You see 2. B is 0.42. R is power 2. Q is 0. Remember, Q is 1 minus B. 1 minus 0.42 is 0.58. Power 3 minus 2. Okay, so we're going to use a calculator. 3C2 multiply by 0.42 square multiply by 0.58. 3 minus 2 is 1. So you don't write. Answer is 0.3069. Yeah, 0.3069. Okay. Right. Now, let's see. Did they ask to give answer correct to how many decimal point? No, right? If they don't mention that, then you write the whole thing. 3069. But when you plot on the graph, it's not going to be helpful if you use 3069 because you can't read so many decimal points. So if you want to use, you can see this is 0.20, 0.42. If you round it off, it'll be 0.31. Yeah, maybe I write here 0.31 to the dp. Now, for x equals to 3, we're going to use 3c3, 0.42 power 3, 0.58 power 3 minus 0. So actually 3c3 is 1, 0.5, sorry, this is 3 minus 3. 0.58 power 0 is just 0. Actually, we don't need to type so many things, just type 0.58 power, sorry, 0.42 power 3. That will do. Your answer is 0.07409. 0.07409. If you write 4 SF, okay? But in order for us to draw on the graph, maybe we just use 2 decimal because everything else is 2 decimal, okay? By the way, you can also use your calculator directly. Yeah? I'm just showing you how to use this. You go to menu, go to 7, 7 for distribution, go to number 4 for binomial PD. And we can use the function list. So we're going to list what we want to find. We want to find 2 and 3. So put 2, put a 3, right, plus equals. Your n is 3. Your p is your probability of success. Is in this case is 0.42. Notice you get the answer straight away. 0.3069, right? This is 0.074. Yeah, very, very fast. Okay, so I'm going to use this to plot the graph. Yeah, you're supposed to construct the graph of this distribution. So the first one is, okay, let me just draw. The first thing to do is the scale. We need to use maximum, as you can see, 0.42. So I think the vertical axis, the scale is 0.1, 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4. This should be 0.5. So the arrow is supposed to be a bit higher. This is your probability b x equals to, wait, 0.42, right? Yeah. Wait, this is a bit weird. Is it 0.42 if you do 1? Okay, let's see. If I were to put 1, will I get, okay, let me just double check. 0, 1, 2, 3. You can use your calculator to do this. Okay. Yeah, it's still 42. 0.19 is 20, right? You round off. 0.42, round off. 3107. So it's correct. Okay. So this is px equals to r. This is your r value. We start from 0 here. Remember, you don't start from the most left, because if your x equals 0 over here, then you cannot see the line. You're only drawing vertical line. 1 is here, 2, and 3. The first one is 0.20, so I'm going to put a cross over here and draw a line. Okay, so let's draw a line up here. Adjust it. Okay. Second one, 0.42 is over here. Draw another line going downwards. Okay. Then for x equals to 2, we are drawing 0.331, 0.31 over here. Last one, 0.07. 0.07 is around here. With the cross, the cross a bit lower, so maybe adjust it downwards a little bit. Okay, let me adjust. All right, so guys, my graph is done. Yeah, it's quite easy to draw. Yes. Okay, moving on to question number 10. And this is for Form 5, from Form 5, Chapter 3, integration. So diagram 7 shows the curve y plus fx, which passes through point h0 and 4, 7. So given the area shaded region is 22, find the integration of 0 to 4 fx dx. Okay, so where's 0 to 4, h to 4, sorry, this h to 4, we can see that h to 4. So h is here, 4 is over here. Okay, so h to 4 fx dx is this area. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the area. This is 4, right? This is 7. We're gonna use area rectangle minus area of integration. Yeah, area rectangle minus area integration. Sorry, minus area shaded region to get your integration. This shaded region has area of 22 unit. You are finding the shaded region here, the integration here. So we can straight away say your integration of h to 4 of function fx dx is your rectangle 7 times 4 minus 22. Your shaded part here is 22. 7 times 4 is 28. 28 minus 22. Answer is 6. Yeah, very simple. All right. Okay, actually, you don't write unit because the question only asks for the integration of this. Yeah, don't need to write the unit. Answer is just 6. All right, let's move on to part B. So in part B, they say on the given day, in a certain day, the rate of increase of theta respect to time is given by this, right? You're supposed to find theta in terms of t. So this question actually is the past year. These two are SPM past year question. When you're given d theta dt is your gradient function. To find theta, you're actually finding equation of the curve. We can do so by integrating half of 12 minus d dt. Now, actually, the half you can times in. Okay, maybe I times inside, you get 6 minus half d dt. When you integrate 6, you get 60. You integrate this, you get t squared. 2 times 2, you get 4 here. And then you plus c. So to find the value of c, we sub in. Your theta is 4 when t is 6. Theta is 4 when t is 6. To find the value of c. Okay, 6 times 6 is 36. Then you minus, this is 36, right? You minus 36 over 4. Okay, basically 36 minus 9, and this is 27. So 4 equals 27 plus c. Bring it over, c is negative 23. Take your c, put it back inside here. Your theta is therefore 60 minus t squared over 4 minus 23. There you go, you got your theta in terms of t. Okay, question number 11. This is from Form 5, Chapter 4, Permutation Combination. So the first one, find number of ways to arrange a word, each word paru and para, if no repetition is allowed. So are the number of ways the same? Explain. Okay, so let's begin with paru. Paru is P-A-R-U. There are 4 different letters or 4 distinct letters. So how many ways to arrange 4 different letter, number of ways is 4 factorial. You use your calculator. 4 factorial is 24. Just use 4 factorial over here. Is 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. Answer 24. Now let's talk about para. Para, you have 2 identical letter. So we have 2 identical letter. The number of ways to arrange is 4 factorial. You got to divide by 2 identical, because remember, if this is A1 and A2, and this is A2 and A1, then this is 4 factorial ways because they are different. If you put label on your A, then there are 2 different letter A, right? But the moment you take out the A, the labeling for A, they becomes the same arrangement, right? Yeah, doesn't matter whether it's A1, A2, A2, A1, you take out the labeling 1 and 2, they all look the same as para, so it's considered as 1. So that's why you have to divide by 2 factorial to cancel the number of arrangement between the two A. So let's take 4 factorial, then you divide by 2. Answer is 12. Yeah, 2 factorial is 2. Okay, so now explain. How to explain? Well, why are they different? We can say because the word para has 2 identical letter A. When you have 2 identical letter A, the number of arrangement will be different. Okay, that's it for part A. Part B. A team of 5 members will be selected for an expedition to an island from a group of 4 swimmer and 3 mountain climber. So 4 swimmer, 3 mountain climber. I will just put 3M. So find number of ways the team can be formed if there's no condition. When there's no condition, you got 7 people. I choose any 5. Yeah, I need a team of 5. So take 7C5. 7C5 is 21. Okay, that is Roman 1. Roman 2, the number of swimmer must be more than mountain climber. So 4 swimmer, 3 mountain climber. You must have more swimmer than mountain climber. Swimmer, you have, if your total is 5, right? Swimmer, you must have 3. Mountain climber, you must have 2. If you have 4, this one, you must have 1. Can I have 5, 0? No, because the maximum number of swimmer we have is only 4. So the number of ways you can write over here, okay, let me just write over here. Number of ways will be 4 swimmer, I choose any 3. 3 mountain climber, I choose 2. 4 swimmer, I choose 4. 3 mountain climber, I choose 1. So with that, we use our calculator. 4C3. Actually, we can tell 4C3 is actually 4. So okay, I'm just going to type it out for you. 4C3 times 3C2. 3C2 is also 3. Then 4C4 is actually 1. If you choose all, it's only one way. And 3C1 is also 3. Answer is 15. Okay. Okay, moving on to question number 12. This is from Form 5, Chapter 1, Circular Measure. So diagram 8 shows sector OAB with of a circle with center O. Point C lies on OB such that OC CB is 3:5. OC is 3. This OB is 5. The whole thing is 5. Your radius is 5. Okay. Now you're supposed to find theta. So if your radius is 5, this is also 5. Now, if you look at the diagram, this is your opposite. This is your hypotenuse. This is your adjacent. You know your adjacent, you know your hypotenuse. We should use cos. Okay, so let me write here. Cos theta is your OC. The ratio is 3. The hypotenuse is 5. So your theta will be, use your calculator, shift cos. Now, you can actually use your calculator in radian directly. Yeah? Press shift menu, go to number 2 angle unit, go to number 2 for radian. Shift cos 3/5. Your answer is 0.9273. 0.9273. Yeah? This answer is in radian. Okay, so you don't have to use degree mode and convert to radian, which is very long. Yeah, don't need to do that. Now, next, part B, you're supposed to find area shaded region, given that the radius is now 18. Okay, if your radius is 18, right, maybe we can identify your OA is 18, no problem, we know that. But your OC is 3 over 5. This is 3 of the whole thing of 5. So if we take 3 over 5 times 18, 3 over 5 times 18, now you can use your calculator. 3 over 5 is 0 0.8, 0 0.6 times 18. That will give us 10.8. 10.8. Then let's find out what's your AC. Yeah. AC will be 4. You can use Pythagoras theorem 3, 4, 5. If this is 3, this is 5, AC is just 4, right? So I take 4 over 5 times 18. 4 over 5 is 0 0.8. Just change your 0 0.6 here to 0 0.8. You should get 14.4 cm. So I'm going to use half times base times height to find the area triangle. And I'm going to use half r squared theta to find the area sector. Sector minus triangle to give us the shaded region. So area sector is half, your radius is 18 square, your theta is 0.9273. Area triangle, your base is OC, which is 10.8. Your height is AC, which is 14.4. Let's use your calculator. Half 1 over 2. Your radius is 18. You square it. Your theta is 0.9273 minus half again. Your radius, the base is 10.8. Height is 14.4. You should get 72.46. Yeah, 72.46. You can write everything down. I think we'll just write 2 decimal point or 4 significant figure. 72.46 will do. Okay, let's continue with question number 13. This is from Form 5, Chapter 6, Trigonometric Function. So here we are given sine A is 3 over 5, cos B is 24 over 25 with a negative. So where A is acute angle, B is a reflex angle, you're supposed to find secant of 1 over A. Okay, so for the first part, it's kind of easy. We don't need to draw a triangle. Okay, maybe I do it here. Yeah, you don't need to draw a triangle. Secant, as we know, 1 over secant as we know is 1 over cos. So 1 over secant A is just 1 over cos A. Flip it up, it's just cos A. Sorry, I think you need to draw a triangle, right? Your sine A is 3 over 5. It's not sine, it's cos. So we should draw A in quadrant 1 because it's acute angle. So when you talk about acute angle, the angle should be here, right? You start from x-axis. This is your angle A. Move it down. Your sine is 3. Is your opposite. Hypotenuse is 5. Adjacent is 4. So your triangle looks like this. And cos, if you read from here, is adjacent, which is 4 over hypotenuse 5. Okay. Now, for your cos B, right, is negative and B is reflex. Reflex means it can be quadrant 3 or quadrant 4. But cos is positive. Remember ASTC, cos is positive in quadrant 1 and 4. But this is negative. So we should draw in quadrant 3. It can be 3 and 2, but the question already mentions reflex. Reflex is between 180 to 360. So we should draw the triangle over, sorry, not here. This is positive. You want negative, right? Negative means it should be in quadrant number 3 here. So this is your B, and we write, maybe I put the B over here. So your adjacent is negative 24, hypotenuse is 25, opposite is 7. Please put a negative. Okay. Now, I know some of you may ask, how do you know it's 7? Okay, here's Pythagoras theorem. 25 square. Maybe I put a square root straight away. 25 square minus 24 square root. That is 7, right? You need to assign a negative in front because it's below the x-axis. So your opposite is always negative. Now, with that, we want to find cos of A minus B. This. Okay, use the addition formula. Cos A minus B is what? Cos A cos B plus sine A sine B. Your cos A, if I read from the triangle, is 4 over 5. You're reading from here, this triangle here. 4 over 5. Your cos B, if I read from this triangle, actually no need to read from triangle because the original question is already given us, right? Your cos B is negative 24 over 25. Your sine A is 3 over 5. Your sine B is negative 7 over 25. Now, let's use your calculator. Just count, okay? You have the same denominator, which is 5 times 25. So don't do waste time typing the fraction one by one. You just take 4 times negative 24. Then you add 3 times negative 7. Divide by 5 times 25. That gives us negative 117 over 125. Negative 117 over 125. All right, that is part B. Part Roman 2. Let's move on to Roman 3. Okay, you're supposed to find cos A over 2. So this is a half angle formula. So for half angle formula, remember, we actually get this from the double angle formula. And we only use the formula for cos. We cannot use the formula for sine. We cannot use formula tangent, only for cos. The reason being, right, only cos, right, cos 2, maybe I put 2 theta for you here. You have only 2 variables. Like, for example, you have cos 2a, 2 theta equals 2 cos square theta minus 1. You have, this is one variable, this is another variable. So if you know one, you can find the other, right? And you can also use cos 2 theta equals to 1 minus 2 sine square theta. Okay, which one do you use? Okay, in the event that you're finding cos A over 2, we use the first one, right? We use the first one. So we are just going to let my 2 theta becomes A, then my theta becomes A over 2. Yeah, if your 2 theta is A, when you divide by 2, theta is A over 2. So I'm going to write here cos A equals to 2 cos square A over 2 minus 1. And cos A we already found from the first part. Right? You already have cos A here, right? So, or you can see from the triangle, this is 4 over 5. This is 2 cos square A over 2 minus 1. Bring it over to the right. 1 plus 4 over 5 is 9 over 5. So it's 2 cos square A over 2. As we divide by 2, this will be 9 over 10. This is A, cos square A over 2. 9 over 10. When you square root it, your cos A over 2 is square root 9 over 10. You can actually simplify this to 3 over 10. Now, if you want to rationalize the denominator, go ahead. Don't also never mind. That question never specified to leave it in any particular form. I think you can stop here. Now, on the other hand, you can also use the direct formula. Actually, this formula, right, in your textbook, the formula is given, but in SPM, the formula is not given. That is cos, okay, I put the method 2 here. Cos A over 2 is now 1 plus cos A with the divide by 2 with a square root, right? So provided you remember, if you don't remember, then you do step by step. Now, if you remember this, you can just substitute inside. Let me move out a bit. Substitute your cos with 4 over 5 divide by 2. This is just 9 over 5 divided by 2, which is 9 over 10. You will get the same answer, 3 over 10. Okay, so this is faster, provided you remember. If you don't remember, just refer to this formula because this formula is given in exam, in SPM, right? So we just change your 2 theta to A, right? And theta becomes A over 2, sub inside, you should be able to get your cos A over 2. All right, we're not done yet. We still got part B. This is only part A, Roman 3. Now, moving on to part B, I'm going to do it below here. You're supposed to solve this trigo equation. This one you have to factorize. So let's bring all your sign to the left, all the terms to the left, right? You can double bracket factorize this. Is 2 sine x. In order to get 3, I must use 4 and 1. 4 is negative, 1 is positive, minus 4 plus 1 is minus 3. My sine x is negative 1 over 2 or 2. Now remember, your sine x cannot be 2. Why? Sine has a maximum of 1 minimum of -1, right? So it will never exceed 1, yeah, because sine is what? Sine is actually a ratio of your opposite over hypotenuse. Even if your angle goes close to 90, like 89.9, then your opposite can never be longer than your hypotenuse, right? So that's why we have to ignore. If you type in your calculator, anyway, you will get math error, right? Okay, but this question is in degree, so remember to change your calculator angle back to degree, right? It is given for 0 to 360. So we focus on the first one. Shift sine 1/2, you should get 30 degrees. So 30 degree is your reference angle. And remember, sine is positive, ASDC, quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. This sine value is negative, -half. So you take quadrant 3 and quadrant 4. If it lies on quadrant 3, we take 180 plus 30. Remember, 180 is here. You plus the small angle here, 30. And then you take 360 minus 30. In quadrant 4 is up to here, 360. You go back by 30. So this is 210 and 330. Yeah, 210 and 330. Okay. Okay, moving on to question number 14. The first part is quite simple. Determine, this is from the chapter, from chapter 4, indices and logarithm. So they say part A, determine whether square root 6 is a surd or not, give a reason. Okay, very simple. Square root 16 is just 4, which is what? Which is a whole number. You can write this as 4/1. We can just say, which is a whole number. So therefore, it's not a surd. Yeah. Therefore, square root 16 is not a surd, right? If you can evaluate exactly, it's a whole number. You can even say it's 4/1, which is a rational number, right? Surd is a form of irrational number. Yeah, you cannot evaluate. I mean, you cannot square it and get a whole number. Yeah. Okay. Now, next, let's look at part B. Solve this equation ln 3x minus 5 equals to 6. So we change from what we call logarithm form to index form. Okay, let me just remove my calculator. It's at the background. Okay. Right. Okay. So we change this to e power 6. Remember, ln means log base e. Yeah? Log base e, let's say y equals to x, y is e to the power of x. In this case, e power 6. Yeah, your power is 6. So your x is now e power 6 plus 5. Then you divide by 3. You can use your calculator to evaluate to find the exact value here. So we take shift ln, which is e power 6. Then you plus 5 and you divide by 3. My answer is 136.1. Yeah, 136.1. This is for significant figure. You want to use more, it's not a problem. Right? Normally we just give your answer correct to 4SF. All right, that's part B. Okay, part C is one of the most interesting questions. Actually, you can find this question from your textbook. It's in the textbook. Okay, you're given the diagram here with 3 circles. Circle J has radius 6, circle K has radius of 3, smallest circle, the small circle between them has radius of R. So you're supposed to show that the radius is equal to this. Okay, I'm going to first join this together. Now let's focus on the trapezium here. This is a trapezium, right? Join together. So this is now 6, sorry. This is now 3. Okay, so this is 6, these 3 add together, the total should be 9. Okay, so I'm going to draw a line in between. Can you see that line in between? So we know that if this is 9, let me redraw here. If this is 9, this is 6, that is 3. 6 minus 3 is going to give us 3. So we find out this horizontal line. The horizontal line will be 9 square minus 3 square square root. 9 square is 81. 81 minus 9, 72. We'll leave it as square root 72 first. Okay, next I want you to focus on the second trapezium like this. You join this together, move this down. Remember, the smallest circle has a radius of r. Maybe I zoom in here, a bit hard to see, it's a bit small. Okay, the radius here is r. If you join this together, right, this side here, okay, this hypotenuse is 6 plus r. Whereas this side over here, maybe I move this over, is 6 minus r. So if you focus on this triangle here has length of 6 plus r. This is 6 minus r. We find this measurement. Now, maybe I call this measurement as x. Okay, what is x? X will be 6 plus r square minus 6 minus r square. Expand the bracket, 36 minus, this is a plus 12r plus r square minus 36 minus 12r plus r square. The 36 can minus 36, left is 0. 12r minus 12r is 24r. Remember, there's an x square here. I'll square it later. Okay, this r square minus r square disappears. So your x is square root of 24r. Okay, now then we focus on the other triangle, this side. Join these together. Okay, now the length from here to here, if this is small r, that's 3. So this is 3 plus r now. Whereas this side is going to be 3 minus r. Because the length from here to here is 3. This side is r. Height is 3 minus r. The triangle is 3 minus r. So let me redraw my second triangle over here. Okay. So I draw over here. This is 3 minus r. This is 3 plus r. Let's call this length as y. So my y would be, let me move over to the right a little bit. Okay, my y would be 3 plus r square minus 3 minus r square. Expand the bracket, 9 plus 6r plus r square minus 9 minus 6r minus r square plus r square. 9 can cancel. 6r minus 6r is 12r. R square minus r square is 0. Remember, this is y square. If you square root it, you get square root 12r. The square is meant for whole thing, so make it longer. Okay, now I'm going to zoom out a bit to find some writing space. Right, zoom out a bit, Okay, I need to continue to show that your r equals to this 6 over 3 plus 2 set 2. Okay, why I call it x and y? Because the length, if you can see, this is your x. Okay, sorry. This is your y. You add together, that is equal to the length from here to here, which is your square root 72. So we know x plus y is square root 72. Your x is square root 24r. Your y is square root 12r. The result is square root 72. My job is to find r. Okay, for me, I will divide everybody by square root 12. You see, 24 divided by 12 is going to give us 2. The square root remains there. 12 divided by 12 is going to give us 1. 72 divided by 12 is going to give us 6. And then I want to take out your r, so square root r. So remember, square root 2r is square root 2 times square root r. You just split them, right? So this square root r, when you take it out, is going to give us 1 here. Okay. Now, from here, what I need to do is to square both sides. Okay. When I square the left, maybe I put a different color here. I square the left, square the right. So when I square this, set 2 square is 2. 2 times set 2 is 2 set 2 times 1, still 2 set 2. 1 square is 1. The result, this will be r, right? Square root r square is just r. Square root 6, if I square it, is just 6. Add them up, 3 plus 2 set 2. Bracket r is now 6. Last step, just divide them. We're almost there. Divide, bring it over, 3 plus 2 set 2. There you go. You got your r equals to 6 over 3 plus 2 set 2. Yeah, I must say this question is quite long, quite difficult, right? You draw a triangle out. If you don't, you can't see the shape. it's difficult for you to, to move up to this answer. Okay. Okay, last question is from Form 4, Chapter 5, Progression. So an engineer celebrates his 34th birthday on the 31st of December 2024. He's offered a position as a senior engineer in Company A and Company B. And we start work on 1st of January. So Company A offers salary 7,500 a month, right? We get an increase of 340. Company B offers salary 7,800, annual increase of 4%. So based on this, the total salary offered by two companies, which company offer would the engineer choose if you plan to retire at age of 58? Yeah. Okay, so first of all, let's look at company A. Remember, this is monthly salary. So company A, the monthly salary is 7,500. Because you are converting to annual salary, you need to times 12. 7,500 times 12, that is 90,000, right? So this 90,000. So company is arithmetic progression because you have a constant increase of salary of 340. But first of all, you need to know from the age of 34 to the age of 58, how many years? Okay, the question actually made it quite simple because they said they say that his birthday is 31st of December 2024. So 2024 is he's 34, right? And they want him to work until 58. He retired at age 58. So you count one by one. T1 is 34. Then this is T1. Yeah, just keep adding one by one. So you can actually just take 58 minus 34. Don't need to plus one or minus one. It's just 24, right? Because it's not like you're from one year to another year, you have to subtract. No, 34 is the whole year is T1, right? Sorry, this is, should I write here 2025? Because 2024 is his, 2024 is his birthday, 31st. 2025, we start counting. So, sorry, we should say from 30, he's 34 at 2024. Yeah, you can, actually don't need to care about the year. Actually, the year doesn't matter. So this is still T24. We take 58 minus 34. Yeah, is 24 years. So he will be working for 24 years. So we want to find total salary as 24. Your common difference, by the way, is 340. So use the formula n over 2, total salary, 2a, 90,000 plus n minus 1. Your d is 340. So let's count. Okay, we're going to take 24 divided to 12, 2 times 90,000 plus 24 minus 1 is 23 times 340. I got 2253840. 2253840 is about 2.2 million. Yeah. Now, company B offer a starting salary of 7,800. So 7,800, you're going to multiply by 12 to get your annual salary. 7,008 times 12 is 93600. 93600. Okay, your increment is 4%. Yeah, annual increment 4%. 4% is 104 over 100. Right? You take 100 plus 4% is 1.04. So you find S24 using geometric progression. So we take 93600. Your R is 1.04, power 24 minus 1 over 1.04 minus 1. Okay, let's use our calculator. 93600, open bracket, 1.04, power 24, u minus 1, divide by 1.04 minus 1. So you get 3658131. RM 3658131. You can write the cent if you want, 0.75, yeah, to the nearest cent, 75 cents. Okay, so which offer should he take? Which one pays more? It's quite obvious, right? Company B, right? So which company should he choose? Answer, company B. Why? Company B, because the total salary is higher. Okay, that is the first part. Okay, part B, we're going to do over here. Now, hence find the engineer's last month's salary if the company offers a monthly increase of 1% per month for him to continue until the age of 60. Okay, so he worked until age of 58, he retired, he wanted to retire, but the company offered him extra 1% increment every month from 58 to 60. 58 to 60 is 2 years, right? For the next 2 years. So let's start by finding his salary at the age of 58, right? At the age of 58, what is his monthly salary? Now, we know we can just use practice, 7,800, right? This your, should I, using progression, Tn formula, Tn equals A R N minus 1. Because between 34 to 58, his salary increased by 1% per year, 4% per year. So we put 1.04, power 24 minus 1, right? You can write 23, yeah? So this, I mean, when you type in the calculator, write 23, 7,800 times 1.04 power 23. So that will be 19,000, 19,224.78. 19,224.78. So this is the monthly salary on the year that he retired, age 58. But the company offered him increment the next 2 years for 24 months, right? So remember, 2 years is 24 months. So you begin with this. We find T24. Begin with 19,224. Sorry, very ugly. I rub this off. 0.78. Your R in this case is no longer 4%. It's 1.01. You increase by 1% every month. Okay, and you do that for the next 24 months. Okay, every month increase 1%. So find his last salary, yeah, on the last month. So we take 19,224.78 times 1.01 power 23. Wait, hang on, 23, yeah? You should get 24,168.68. 24,168.68. There you go. That is your final answer. Okay, we're done for today for this discussion for Melaka paper. Thank you for watching this video. Right, hope you learned something or learned a lot in the process. Hope to see you guys in the next video. Thank you. Okay, sorry, I think there's a correction in the last one because if you look at this, right, on when he's 58 years old, on the last month when he retired in, let's say, December, is 19,224.78. But for when he, in January, when he turns 59, you need to increase already by 1%. So when you increase by 1%, so it's not 24 months because it's after you start your T1 actually start here. If you let this be T1, right? If you take this as T1, then you must count T25, not T24. Sorry about this. So it's T25 minus 1 to get your final answer because you don't count. I mean, I let my A be 19,224.78, which is the last drawn salary in December. So we should use this one. You write 25 minus 1, 24. The correct answer is 24410.37. 24410.37. Sorry for the error. So this is the correct answer. Thank you for watching.